Hello, hello. Welcome to Arkadium's Daily Crossword Live. I am thrilled to be back with you all after a weekend away. I missed solving crosswords with you guys. Jilly is in chat saying, hello, Jack. Hello, come on, Jack. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome back. Rand is saying, blast off. Luncharoni is here. All right, we got a party already. I am psyched. This is the show where we solve one of Arkadium's crossword puzzles together. My name is Jack. I will guide us through the puzzle, but these are always more fun the more collaborative they are. So if you see a clue and think you know the answer, pop it into chat, and I'll try to collect everybody's input and really make this a group-solving effort. Fatmir on YouTube says hi. Hi to you. Efon sending me hearts. I feel the warm and fuzzies already. I'm psyched. And user255 is sharing the live. We have a hard crossword loaded. We've been doing hards lately. If you're new to crosswords and that sounds intimidating, I encourage you not to fret, stick around. You'll find that when we solve all together as a group, even the hard ones go down just right. Angie on YouTube, hi to you as well. Great to have you back. And Amy Gal, hey. Jilly's in New York City. I'm in the New York City area. Nicholas Wood, welcome to you. Okay. Oh, actually, Nicholas Wood and Julie are guessing one across. I thought you were telling me where you were from, and I was like, oh. But now Angie is also saying New York City. So let's dive into the puzzle. By the way, the title of today's puzzle is Second Change. I don't know exactly what that means, but hopefully that means there's something for us to discover along the way. Second change, let's keep it in mind. Although now other people are saying where they're from. Nicholas Wood is in Spain, and Scott Alexander is in Santa Fe Springs, California, and Lucky's in Scotland. All right, we got an international chat going. I love it. Okay, let me just line up my chats. And yeah, so we have Big Apple Hub at one across, and people like New York City. That seems plausible to me. It's 3 letters. Let's plunk them in and see if they do any work for us. Efon says JFK. Yeah, that honestly makes a little bit more sense to me because a hub usually refers to an airport, right? New York City isn't an airport. Big Apple already refers to New York City, so it could also be LaGuardia, LGA. Yeah, Lucinda, welcome to you, says LGA or JFK. I kind of agree with Lucinda's intuitions here, but let's see if one down can help us one way or another. Or maybe we just erase NYC and start with the downs today. Barbara says notification always 3 minutes behind. I do know that Facebook and YouTube are sometimes behind TikTok. That there's just a lag thing that we can't control. Although 3 minutes, I would hope it's not that long. Wisecrack. Okay. Warthog says jeer. Lucinda says joke. But either way, that does sort of suggest JFK might be the Big Apple hub. And maybe we have jeer or joke as a wisecrack. I'm liking that. Rob O, thanks for following us. If anyone else wants to follow us, we do this every day, and following is a great way to keep abreast of the next streams. Jester joke. Jester joke is making sense. Blank time, workplace benefit at 2 down. Yeah, Angie's like JFK it is. Uncle Sam likes the live. FMLA, says AJ Bradley. I don't know what FMLA is. And Kristen and Rob are saying full-time. Yeah, full-time. Although is full-time a workplace benefit? I'm not sure about that. Not sure if I agree with that. What is FMLA? A lot of people are putting that. I don't know FMLA time. Free time? Oh, Family Medical Leave Act. Luncharoni's so smart. Family Medical Leave Act. Okay, but we got Scav saying flex time and other people saying free time. Flex time feels a little bit more like workplace jargon, right? Like flex time is something that would be in your welcome package. Although Nail is using the all caps saying free time, it's gotta be. Okay, maybe it's free, maybe it's flex, and maybe we do more crosses. We don't know. Could also be FMLA, apparently. This first corner is already kind of tricky. And it worries me because it's very segmented from the rest of the grid. Like, 19 across is kind of our only periscope into the outside world. So if we get stuck here, then we're not getting help from anybody else. We really got to sort this out on our own. Shania, hello to you. I'm psyched to be back. Okay, but I like the guesses I'm seeing for 13 across. Ring great, vague clue, but people are saying Ali as in Muhammad Ali in a boxing ring. I really like that guess. Not an easy clue. And then someone is saying, oh, one of the brass. I didn't even see this. Tuba. Tuba. Tuba's a brass instrument. Although I'm not loving this U on FL. Are you loving this U? Warthog says jape for a wisecrack, which nobody had guessed. We had jeer versus joke going, but apparently there are a ton of four-letter J words that mean wisecrack. Jape works with our J, A. And Scav and AJ and Amy Gal. Yeah, Scav has the whole section solved in his head, as usual. One of the brass, an exec. Not easy. An executive, short for executive. Like one of the brass at a company. Yeah, Arkadium's like, we have lots of smarties in the chat today. Honestly, every day. You guys impress me every day. And exec works really nicely with flex. So flex time was the workplace benefit after all. And then only one more letter in this section. I don't think we even looked at these clues. Family friend often at 16 across. And toy with a tail. Okay, I see that one now. Toy with a tail. Maybe we should have started here. This is sort of an easier clue. Nell says one of the brass could be a horn. A horn, yeah. Horn or tuba both could have worked. I'm loving kite for toy with a tail. The only other thing I could picture working here is yo-yo. I mean, yo-yo and kites both have strings, although I would more call it a tail on a kite. And a family friend, of course, is your pet. I think we survived this first section. I'm feeling good about what we have so far. Well done. Well done, everybody. And all we get for all that effort is this little C poking into new frontiers. Monty Python member. Monty Python member. Anyone know their Monty Python? Very famous comedy group. Yeah, Kristen and Lucky and Scav and Angie Proctor are all getting Cleese. John Cleese was a member of Monty Python. It fits, got a C. I think that's got to be it. Yeah, John Cleese. Even though we have this 20, I sort of want to go to this second section instead. Start at 4 down, fill in our second section here. The reason being that I can see we're going to get 23 across before 17 across, and I want to see the theme answers in order. Yeah, Angie's crushing it on YouTube as usual. An NL Central insignia. Scav reminds us that Scav is not a sports person. Although I think you got polo the other day when nobody knew what chuckers was in polo. Scav is like, I don't know sports, but I know polo. NL Central insignia. Yeah, Scott asking for the cross. That's the right call. Seafood order at 4 across. Seafood order. Efon says STL, and bring back game fuel also says STL. So I guess St. Louis. I mean, St. Louis is in the center of the country, so that seems plausible to me. St. Louis? We good with that? Texas says, hello and good morning, Sir King of Words. Hey, you can call me that anytime you want. Sir King of Words, that's a new one for me, and I love it. Seafood order, I got 2 different guesses. Shrimp versus salmon. They both fit. They both start with an S. Amy Gal adds a 3rd guess to the mix of scampi. A lot of seafood, 6-letter S seafood orders. So why don't we do what we always do in this situation and go somewhere else? Young person, 14 across. Young person. I could think of yeah, Jilly's like salmon, shrimp, scampi. Yeah, if only those all fit in the grid together. Yeah, Shania and Saint Dog 07 are saying toddler, but we're 1 letter shy of toddler. I was thinking, yeah, like tot or teen, but none of these quite fit, do they? So what do we think? Oh, and Bring Back Game Fuels is starting to suspect that St. Louis might be wrong. Uh-oh, now we're in real trouble. Barbara guesses tweens though, which does fit. Although, wait, no, it's plural though, and the clue is not plural. Normally you get agreement between those things. So, all right. They call it a hard crossword for a reason. Because it's hard. Let's do downs. Let's keep St. Louis in for now, because I haven't seen a direct contradiction of it, and a lot of people liked it. Media conglomerate at 5 down. That's also not the easiest. Viacom is a nice guess from Bring Back Fuel. Of course, SV looks weird. All right, maybe we look at these short ones. When in doubt, I always start with the 3-letter entries because they can give you a toehold in an otherwise hairy section. Country club employee. Country club employee. Oh, Scav is saying, which one was the one Succession was based off of? Yeah, the media conglomerate that Succession was based off of. I'm not sure. Scott Alexander saying Rupert. Ooh, we're in some trouble, guys. I thought the first section was hard, but the second section is giving us way more difficulty. Hearst. That's an interesting guess. Media conglomerate. Hearst definitely works. Hearst, like William Randolph Hearst. Yeah, what do we think? People also saying HBO Max. Okay, but Lucinda's been trying to get my attention with pro, like a golf pro. You might work at a country club. Ooh, not easy stuff. However, I'm liking that shrimp is starting to come into view here at 4 across. So that gives me a little more confidence in some of these guesses. Yeah, pro for shrimp. Okay. I'm feeling better. Still not feeling 100% on this stuff. Shrimp then pro. What do we think? Angie likes pro. Teener? Scav is saying teener. Is that a word anybody uses? Brandon says it's saying teener. Yeah, Lucky put in a question mark with teener. That's how I'm feeling about it. Do people use this word, a teener, for a young person? I don't know. Feels a little off. Lunchroni's like Teener Turner. That's a crossword theme right there. I think you should make a grid. Yeah, never heard teener, but who knows? Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. It's working with met, which a lot of people are suggesting intersected. Like if two things meet at a point, they intersect. Yeah, Rob is like met works though. That's how I'm feeling. Met works, so maybe teener works. Let's check this IN. Angie's never heard of teener. Barbara's never heard of teener on Facebook. I guess we're all learning a new word today. Julie's like a teener is a teenager. Okay. Being pulled at 7 down. And have we looked at 6 down? Bowling button. Interesting. AJ Bradley and Uncle Sam both saying in tow. Larry Locke also saying in tow for being pulled. Yeah, that definitely seems to work. If you're being towed, you're being pulled. I like that. And then what is the bowling button is reset? What exactly is this referring to? I'm thinking of the contraption where the balls roll back to you, and then you press. Why do you press reset? It's been a while since I've been bowling. It seems like the right answer, but I can't exactly make sense of it. And let's just check 21 across because we never looked at this clue. Olds Auto. Yeah, I've seen this before. I don't know if it's pronounced REO or Rio, but I've definitely seen this car name in crosswords before, so I think we're good. Reset the pins. Reset the pins is what you do in bowling. Okay, I think after a lot of hiccups, we did actually manage to make it out of that section, especially since last 2 is looking like it's forming real words. Angie's saying the coins get reset too. REO Speedwagon, Jessica says. Yeah, that is my association with REO as well. Oh, Angie's saying, yeah, the pins get reset. Yeah, right. Right, the pins get reset. Okay, 17 across, which I'm assuming is a theme answer, our first theme answer of the day. One asked to turn out the light. Scav asks, the title of the puzzle is Second Changes, or Second Change. Second Change or Second Changes, one of those. Max Tyler says last to sleep. AJ Bradley and Rand say last to leave. Izzy May votes for leave. Let's go with Izzy's instinct. Last to leave. Okay, so the last to leave would be asked to turn out the light. Yeah. We have other votes for last to sleep, so maybe it's last to sleep. We'll check the crosses, but so far I like this. Why don't we check it right now? 18 down. Beast on Sri Lanka's flag. Anyone know this? I'm trying to picture Sri Lanka's flag. I'm not very good with flags. Yeah, I can kind of infer Scav and Rob and Lucky and Tina and Kristen are all right in lion. Tiana Joyner as well. Howard. I'm curious, who knew that a lion was on Sri Lanka's flag versus who saw a four-letter beast starting with L and put lion? Rick on YouTube, welcome to you. Also knew lion. Everyone knew lion, apparently. Is it because you're picturing the Sri Lanka flag? Here comes Lucinda with her trademark emojis. Oh, Howard's Sri Lankan. Perfect. It's always lion or eagle, says Rob. And Shania saying it lynx or lion. So you were just going off a four-letter animal starting with an L, which is definitely how I would have solved it. All right, let's see. 15 down. Oh, beast on California's flag. Okay, we got two flag beasties. This one I can actually picture. This one I know. I'm not using the E. This one I know just because I can picture California's state flag. Nice, yeah. Jacob and Luncharoni and Tina and Kristen, Jilly all coming in. Scott with Rhea, Primlocked. Lots of new names in chat today. I find that so heartening. And I'm getting my lovely emojis. Oh, Scav put a teddy bear emoji. That was creative. Jay Astier, welcome back to you on YouTube. Welcome back. Coming in with bear. And Shania also put koala bears in her. Wow. Shania just one-upped you all. Two-upped. Okay, so we had lion and bear. We had our flag animals. And now it's time for Scottish John. Scottish John. Yeah, Scav is like an animals on the flag is a mini theme. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too. Lay, thanks for that heart. Okay. Yeah, Scottish John. Barbara on Facebook says Ian. Yeah, Ian and John are basically the same name, but in Scotland, they go by Ian. Cool. 15 across, plan as mischief. I like the picture this is painting, but I'm not sure I know it. Rand, thanks for sharing the live. If anyone else has family or friends who are into crossword puzzles, consider sharing the live with them. How are they going to know about it if you don't tell them? Plan as mischief. 4 letters starting with a B. Somehow I feel like this should be jumping out at me, and it's not. What do we think? Lucinda's like skip. Yeah, maybe we skip for now. Although people are coming in with guesses. Shania Without Limits, Scott, say brew, which I do actually like. Plant, yeah, like something brewing. I'm picturing people going like this. As they're planning their mischief. Nice, I like that. Frog Guy, thanks for following us. Thank you so much for following us. If anyone is watching and enjoying it and doesn't follow us, you should. What are you waiting for? We do this every day. Every day at noon, we're here with a new crossword, and following is the best way to keep in touch with us. Okay, Matterhorn female. Yeah. Allie, or Ally, thanks for following us. And Terry Ann, thank you for following us. You guys are the best. Barbara on Facebook and Jay Astor on YouTube like you for the Matterhorn female. That looks good to me as well. And what do we have here? Crank up. Tina, thank you for following us. Luncharoni's like so many U's. Yeah, TikTok chat just filled up with U's. And now it's filling up with revs. I love seeing that. Izzy May, Flyboy, Jilly, Nutty. Okay, cool. Crank up is rev. This section somehow isn't as hard as the previous ones, I think. Underground resource, blank RE. This is a super common crossword entry. Underground resource. Oh yeah, bruh, you trippin'. Just what is bruh, you trippin' talking about actually? Maybe I'm tripping. But Shania and Ali or Ally and Mary Catherine are all saying or. Yeah, an underground resource is an or, something that you mine for. Sweet. Rick on YouTube got or. Shri on YouTube got or. I see what you're doing. Bruh, you're tripping is looking at 23 across. Ally, okay. Not ally, Ally. I'll try to remember that. Drinks with juice. I see a juice name kind of peering at us, but I don't know exactly how we're going to finish this entry. Do people have thoughts on this? Or should I look at 23 across? Lucky writes Orange Fizz, which I like. Scott Alexander writes Orange Bang. Is that a thing? But I think AJ and Shania and Scav. Shania also saying Orange Tang. All right. Maybe we don't know. The fact that it's plural. Yeah, Angie's saying Orange AIDS. Like Orangeade. Kind of like Lemonade, Limeade, Orangeade. Because it's got to be plural, as Scav points out. Yeah, Rohan's like, you might as well write a G for now. I definitely agree. I'll write the G. Maybe we'll cancel AIDS. Amy's like, I have no input beyond orange. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of similar to Amy. So let's keep orange, which we all feel good about. And look at our second themer of the day. Remember, the title is Second Change or Second Changes. Line from Kipling. Line from Kipling. Okay. Kipling is a writer, but I'm not sure I know any Kipling quotes. Chat is usually smart enough to know these things. And I see Amy Gal with a lovely guess. And Molly McBee agreeing, and Scav is just like, wow, and Rob is saying, nice, Amy. Yeah, lest we forget. Definitely a phrase I've heard before. I didn't know it was attributed to Kipling. So that's looking good. Yeah, lest we forget. Sounds good. Mary Catherine, thank you for sharing the live. Okay, so I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing a pattern already in our themers. Sometimes we don't crack the theme until late in the puzzle, but is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing? Maybe I'm wrong. Scott Alexander, thanks for sharing the live. And thanks for the hearts, Lucinda. Okay, maybe we'll move on. Yeah, Larry Locke, I think, yeah, you and I are of one mind here. Change the second letter in the first word, AJ's saying. I'm noticing, I mean, the title, ZTVH says, since you're doing a word puzzle, would you be up for a bad pun? I'm always up for a bad pun. What do you got? Lay is like, what are you seeing? Okay, what I'm seeing is the title, remember, is Second Change. And our first two themers are last to leave and lest we forget. And I'm just noticing that these first words are the same except for their second letter. We've changed the second letter, last to lest. So I think we might. And then Larry was like, oh, we're going to get list and lost in here. And Nicholas Tanakis is even pointing out it could be A-E-I-O-U all in order. Last, lest, list, lost, and lust. They're all words. That's awesome. Luncharoni's mind is blown. Rohan's like, I'm going to snipe that. It's lost. Actually, check this out. 36 across, we have an S in the right position. I think we're really onto something. An S is in the third position. My guess is that this is going to be an O, but we'll find out in due course. I like it. Okay, ZTVH is it coming here with a bad pun. What do you call a turtle chasing you and your friends? It's a toward us. Oh my god, that is a groaner. It's it's a toward us because it's coming toward us, and it's a tortoise. All right, you promised it would be bad, and it was bad, and I loved it. Trounced, perhaps, at 29 across. Yeah, Mia is saying best, and Amy and Efan are saying beat. Yeah, Scav pointing out best is not in past tense, and trounced is in past tense. So I think beat. Rohan likes beat. Mike likes best. Let's check this A right away since there's some debate. Yeah, Amy's like it would be bested, exactly. There's always tense agreement between the clue and the answer. Cardinal point. Cardinal point. Can we make sense of EA blank blank? We can, it turns out. Neurosparkly Ashley and Allie and Lay and Melissa all saying East. Nice. Miniest Mini on YouTube says East. I like it. My first reading of this clue was kind of thinking, okay, where do cardinals hang out? Trees? Nests? It's a deceptively tricky clue. I guess not for you guys. Ethan Burrows is like, no, it's East. Okay, cool. 32 across. Destructive son of Zeus. Anyone know their mythology? Kiera came in quickly, and Anarchy Angels, and Track God, and Vibin Frog. Some of these usernames are awesome. Okay, Ares. Yeah, that seems right. I know Ares is the god of war, so destructive definitely checks out. Shania says 4 down and East could be St. Louis Cardinal baseball team. Yeah, NL Central insignia. This did turn out to be STL. I think some people were saying Cub at some point. All right, let's check 32 down. Texas Revolution battle site. 5 letters starting with an A. Whew. Man, TikTok is on fire. Wow, I cannot even get to all your names. Giraffa, I see. Kristen, AJ, Amy. Remember the Alamo. Barbara on Facebook chiming in. Remember the Alamo. Yeah. That's got to be right. Texas Revolution battle site is Alamo. And look at this. We have L blank ST. Exactly as predicted at 36 across. Creation for a negotiation. 36 across. Creation for a negotiation. Can anyone think of this? Yeah, Jay and Kiera are like, list something. Lucky says listen, which maybe, but so far we have last and lest, so I do think list on its own would be a tighter contribution to the theme. Ooh, nice. Flyboy and Uncle Sam. AJ Bradley saying list of demands. Let's see if it fits. Beautiful. Well done. Wow, and you got that just from the LST. That was awesome. Creation for a negotiation, a list of demands you bring to a negotiation. I think that's right. Very cool. Yeah, and so far we're getting our vowels in order, which is a very nice touch. Last, lest, list, AEI. So I'm expecting lost and lust to start the next two. And look at this. We got an O right in the spot we would expect it. Awesome. Jay is like, shoot, I missed the whole green bar. Are you talking about this green bar? This is very important. This is where the clues are, so you can participate too. You don't have to wait for me to read it. 29 down, James Bond, for example. Oh yeah, and Rohan, by the way, remembering, we had orange, and we weren't sure if it was orange fizz or orange. People had other orange tang, but drinks with juice. Rohan is pointing out with a D in place. This is likely orange AIDS, which a lot of people were guessing. I like orange AIDS. Nice eye, Rohan, noticing that our situation changed. Back to the west of our grid, James Bond, for example, Tina is saying, Anarchy Angels, what does EG stand for? Rohan, thanks for following us. I cannot remember what EG stands for. I know it means, for example. Like, you can just replace E period G period with for example. That is literally what it means. But I'm not sure if it stands for something Latin. Game Gang is saying exemplia gratia means for example. Yeah, it seems like it's a Latin phrase that means for example. Comes up a lot in crosswords, so it's useful to know. James Bond, for example. People writing British spy. So James Bond is an example of a British spy. Very nice. Shri on YouTube got British spy. Nice work to you, Shri or Shri. Cool. Place to board, 39 across. Place to board. Shania pointing out that we should expect an S, exactly where we have it. Given our theme, we're expecting 55 across to start with lust. And we already have the S in place. Barbara McDowell on Facebook, WDub, XYUK, and Daniel says, hi, buddy. Hi to you as well. Jilly, okay, gate, a place to board. We're talking airplanes, it seems like. Your terminal, you go to your gate to board your airplane. Miniest Mini got that. Nice work, everybody. Daniel, thanks for liking the live. Blank wrong. And Daniel, thanks for following us. Blank wrong. Yeah, Harry A. and Brandon Kaplan both saying, am I wrong? I don't think you guys are wrong, actually, on this one. I think you're very right. User85, thanks for following us. Yeah. And what is this? 39 down. Rohan coming in with some trivia. IE is id est, meaning that is. Wow. Id est, ID space EST. Arkadium's like, you guys are never wrong during these lives. It's really what it feels like. Square dance participant. Scav is giving me the cowboy emoji. And Allie and Shania writing gal. And Larry pointing out that we knew an L was going to be here because our theme today seems to be last, lest, list, and lost. Lucinda's like, swing your partner round and round. Yeah, now we're dancing in chat. Mall facility, 45 across. Nice. A lot of people, Gar and Anarchy Angels and Tess and Amy all saying lost and found. Nice entry. This is a good theme. You know, I've seen themes like this before where you change the middle letter with all of the vowels. I've actually recently I made a crossword that was bat, bet, bit, bot, and but were in all the themers. So this is kind of a tried and true theme template, but it's usually 3-letter words. I'm not sure I've seen them with 4-letter words like this, which I would imagine is rarer. And these are all super legit. Last, lest, list, lost, and lust are all super legit words. So I'm a fan. $46 down, body art casually. Body art casually. What do we think? Yeah. Jessica and Tina saying tats. FSG Homes. Tats. I think that's got to be right. Sari, thanks for the heart. Yeah, tats, short for tattoos. Some people putting tat like this. I'm not as used to that abbreviation. It's true, it's not obvious from the clue that it's going to be plural, but my gut tells me that it's going to be tats like this. But only one way to find out. 61 across. Intros to entrees. Intros to entrees. What does that mean? Yeah, nice. W-dub. Wow, TikTok chat is going too fast for me to even see all your names. Rennie and Shania and Jilly all got apps. Yeah, like appetizers are your introduction to your entree. Jessica, thanks for spelling that out. Yeah, apps. Looks great. Photo archive source. Jay Astier and Angie on YouTube, both new apps as well, as did Rick. Nice. And Dennis. Dennis, welcome to you. Scab is like, yum, mozzarella sticks. Luncheroni saying queso. Oh, man. Now I'm getting hungry. Jay Astier's pointing out aperitifs. Blue Puppy, thanks for following us. Yeah, I could go for some queso and mozzarella sticks. Barbara's like soup. Yeah, that's another good app. I love everyone putting their favorite app in chat. Photo archive source. Okay, yeah, Rohan and Efan are saying, oh, and everyone knows it has to be a U. I keep forgetting this. Chat keeps pointing out to me that this is going to end up being lust. Okay, we might as well do this since we're looking at it. 55 across. Book or film about Van Gogh. I don't think I know this. I hope it starts with lust. Otherwise, we've really botched this theme. Does anyone know this? Book or film about Van Gogh? Without Limits saying Lust for Life. Cajun Wumbert saying Lust for Life. Harry A. Luncheroni says my art teacher in high school made us watch it. Really? So you've actually seen Lust for Life? It fits. Sounds right. Angie knows Lust for Life. Jay Astier knows Lust for Life. Cool. And that completes our list. Last, list, lost, and lust. Well done. Okay. Warthog says Kirk Douglas. Did Kirk Douglas play Van Gogh? Luncheroni's like, don't recommend. We should all skip. We're not renting. We're not doing a Lust for Life viewing on our next stream. Little Fellow. Adam E, thanks for sharing the live. Addie says a lad is a little fellow. And what do we have here? Home Project Cable Channel. Yeah, Luxor getting lad, Angie getting lad, Shri getting lad. And Dennis also knew Lust for Life. Apparently it's not the most entertaining film. DIY, Home Project Cable Channel. I didn't know this was the name of a cable channel. Obviously, DIY makes sense. It stands for Do It Yourself. But I don't think I've ever seen anything on the DIY channel. Rob saying, I tatted myself with a DIY. Did you really give yourself a tattoo? Did you actually? Oh yeah, Game Gang asking for 56 photo archive source. I saw people guessing this. UPI. I feel like I know this as a news organization. I don't think I knew it was a place to get photos. Angie, by the way, coming in on YouTube saying that she liked Lust for Life. So Luncheroni and Angie, you guys should hash this out. Yeah, UPI I know is a news organization. George says, cool guy Jack, what's up? What's up with you, George? George is always calling me a cool guy, and someone earlier in stream called me like King of the Words or something awesome. Lucinda says United Press International. is what UPI stands for. Yeah, it's some press. George is like, what's up, the roof? Exactly. George is always bringing the puns. Okay, well done, guys. Well done surviving that section. UPI, I trust Lucinda's reference, United Press International. And they have a photo archive, says Lucky. And Rob says, must be like AP, like Associated Press Service. You can license their images for news stories that you don't have images for. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me as well. Scav is like, it stands for Unlimited Pizza Invite. I wish, man. I wish. No, we're moving on from apps. We're moving on to 49 across. Akihito affirmative. Yeah, Tess and Jay Astier are saying hi with an I. Jay Astier pointing out it's Japanese for yes. That looks great. Well done. 43 down is an unsophisticated one. I don't think we have any of these in chat. I think everyone here is quite sophisticated. And what do we have at 43 across? Yeah, people guessing waif, which I guess makes sense. Unsophisticated one. 43 across, nothing at all. Can we work with this W? Nothing at all. Yeah, the miniest mini is like waif. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little unsure about this as well. Oh, so a waif is like I'm not even sure I can come up with a good definition of waif. People are saying, yeah, putting an N here. I think this is naive. It's like naive. It's a person who is naive. Is I think a naive. I'm not. Maybe you say it naif, but I think it's naive. Retheridge, thanks for following. Thank you so much. Even as I'm bumbling through my words here, but I like the N a lot more with nothing at all. Yeah, Jay Aster, it's someone who's gullible. Exactly. Someone who's gullible. Vicky Jones, thank you for following us. Oh, wow. People are speaking French on YouTube now. It's a good way to talk about me without me understanding. Flyboy says a waif means neglected or homeless. Okay. I think the N is working better. Especially when Zach points out that nothing at all is nil. Yeah. And Lucky is giving us a definition of naive? Naive or ingenuous? A naive or ingenuous person. Yeah, that accords with my suspicions. Okay. And I'm feeling good about nil as well. Boss at Valhalla at 37 down. Jay Aster is impressing everyone on YouTube with French and is now blushing from all these compliments. Yeah, Odin is the boss at Valhalla. Valhalla is like that big hall in Asgard. Most of us know this from the Thor movies, right? Unless you're really up on Norse mythology. Valhalla is in Asgard, and Odin is like the big boss god. Real dynamo. 40 across. 4 letters starting with a D. A real dynamo. What are we thinking of this? What do we think of this? I could also look at 33 down, looking like kind of strange. Allie's like, I love both Norse mythology and Thor. Okay, then you're the expert on Odin. Nice. Larry and Allie and Scav are all saying doer for a real dynamo. One who does. What's this gonna be? I see. 33 down. Can't win this hand. What's the verbal equivalent of can't win this hand? What are they getting at here? Yeah, Rob, Lucky, I fold. That's exactly the sentiment. We're talking poker, of course. By the way, Arkadium has poker. If you like poker, go check out Arkadium.com. They got tons of crosswords like this one and other games, including poker. Minuscule amount at 33 across. We begin with an I. Although everyone's filling in 34 down. I don't even know if I looked at this clue. But piece of admiration, Clark and Lucky and Rennie are telling me that it's an ode. Yeah, piece of admiration. An ode is a poem of praise. Minuscule amount. Retheridge and Rohan sang iota. Yeah, an iota just means a tiny bit. Nice work. Okay, we're kind of climbing up this little staircase here. About to be done with this central section of the puzzle. Play direction. Play direction. AJ and Without Limits and Nutty are all saying enter. Yeah. In a script, it might say, enter stage left. Yeah, play as in theater, exactly. Right. This actually was kind of a hard clue because it could have been like play as in a football play, or even just playing with, a kids playing with each other or something at a play date. Soundproofing material crossing starter like un. So this is going to be prefix. Yeah, Barbara, like exit stage right, exactly. It's like that. Flyboy and Jilly writing foam for soundproofing material. Yeah, I guess if you're in a sound booth might be surrounded by foam for the acoustics. Carrie, nice work on that one. And starter like un is non. Yeah, these are both prefixes that kind of negate whatever they're introducing. All right. Good work, everybody. Let's move on to this little section here. Dickinson preposition. Dickinson preposition. What do we think? Dickinson preposition. So this is probably going to be something. Yeah, Tina, nice work. Tina says air. Common crossword entry. It's like a poetic way of saying before. And Dickinson, I think they're referring to Emily Dickinson, a famous poet, and saying that she might write before as air because for poetic beat reasons, sometimes you want to shorten your words. Nice work. We're really closing in on this grid. Physicist Mach. Who knows they're physicists? Mach, I'm assuming Mach 1 and Mach 2 are named after this guy. Mach 1 referring to the speed of sound. Yeah, AJ and Shania and Jilly are all telling me that Ernst Mach. That sounds right. Casual Top at 28 down, crossing iconic publisher of filmdom. This I'm not sure about. What is the iconic publisher of filmdom? Addie and Zach like T for casual top. Yeah, like a t-shirt is a casual top. Efon says tank, also a casual top, but unfortunately it doesn't fit. So what is the iconic publisher of filmdom gonna be? Yeah, Luncharoni. I think you're right. Luncharoni with all the old film knowledge today. I think Kane. I think they're talking about Citizen Kane. And weirdly, Hearst is also in the grid. Wasn't Citizen Kane modeled off of William Randolph Hearst, or am I making this up? Yeah, Luncharoni. Call back to Hearst from before Citizen Kane was based. Yeah, Citizen Kane was based on William Randolph Hearst. That's a weird. What was our other sub theme today? Oh yeah, Flag Beasts was a sub theme, and now we have movie publishers, or just I guess just publishers. Interesting. like Citizen Kane. All right, well done, Luncharoni. 35 down, presses and folds. Presses and folds. Yeah, KN can't be too many things, can it? AJ and Scav and Zach. Rennie saying needs like bread. Yeah, exactly. Good clue, by the way, because presses and folds, it sounds like you're doing laundry. Total misdirection. Lucinda coming in with the bread emojis always makes me smile. Presses and Jessica with a baguette as well. Nice job, Jessica. Presses and folds. Yeah, we're talking bread. You press it, you fold it, you're kneading the dough. Anarchy Angel says that cat reminds me of cat. That word reminds me of cats kneading. Yeah, that's what I think of too, like kneading your back skin. Face up to 41 across. Face up to. And Scav chiming in with a cat emoji. And solemn ascent at 38 down. Yeah, Amy Gal was quick with meet. If you face up to, like you maybe meet your maker or something, you face up to. And amen is a solemn ascent. Great. Things are really flowing now. You guys are crushing it. Where subs are ordered, 44 across. Where subs are ordered. Yeah, Arkadium's like, you guys are so fast with this. Wow, it's really true. I read a clue and then chat just fills up with the right answer. Etchin says C's. Nice. Another good clue, by the way. Obviously, the misdirection is deli, right? 4 letters where subs are ordered. You order subs at a deli. Sub sandwiches. But no, we're in the seas. You might order a submarine around. Yeah, Luncharoni, you and I are on the same page today. Subs, I immediately think sandwich. Well, your username gives that away. A lunch fan. Tolerate with great reluctance at 44 down. Pixie joined. Pixie, haven't seen you in a minute. C, thanks for liking the live. Tess and Amy Gal and Piers all say suffer. Tolerate with great reluctance. Yeah, to suffer. Interesting clue. What else do we got here? Yellowish green. Yellowish green, starting with an O. And 47 down is serious criminal. Hudson Glassberg was quick with the shade of green. Olive, nice. Olive green, yeah. Yellowish green. Olive, nice work. Ooh, and Lord of the Rings being at 50 across. Meanwhile, Zach and Nutty and Etchin are all telling me that Felon is a serious criminal, yeah. Felon is a serious criminal, and that just gave us 50 across, which, by the way, there are actually a lot of 3-letter Lord of the Rings beings. If you solve a lot of crosswords, you see these come up. There's Orc, O-R-C. There's Ent, which are those like tree creatures, E-N-T. And apparently today it was neither of those. It was an elf. And Jessica's given me, I think, elf emojis, which I didn't even know existed. Okay. Well, looky here. Rohan's like, don't click 62 across. I want to snipe it. Okay, where's 62 across? Okay, give it to me. What's it going to be, Rohan? You want to snipe it? What's 62 across without looking at the clue? Rohan says Glover, like Donald Glover. It's a good guess. I like where your head's at. But I think it's already not working with what people are saying for 57 down. Ooh, I think Scav might have sniped it. Oh, no. Scav ripped that right out from under you. All right, let's find out. I like, well, looky here. Oh, ho. But if oh, ho's right, then it's not going to be Donald Glover. Electrolux alternative. Okay, I don't actually know what Electrolux is, but it's totally believable. Scav was saying Hoover, as in like the vacuum brand. Is Electrolux a brand of vacuums? Does this actually work? Yeah, everyone writing Hoover. Rohan, sorry you lost this one. You'll get him next time. Rohan's like, dang it. Electrolux vacuums. Okay, cool. Yes, Scav is a beast. You gotta watch out for him. Rick got Hoover on YouTube. Also, nice work, Rick. Seating arrangement. People also guessing 65 down. Seating arrangement. Zan Evil says row. Not the easiest clue. But I guess you sit in a row at a wedding or a theater. And then shareholders, for instance, at 65 across in EMT destinations. This is looking like owners, shareholders, or owners of a company. And the EMT is headed to the emergency room, ERs. All right, only one more section left in this crossword. Another one of these choked off sections, so we're not getting any help from the outside world here. Dress detail. Dress detail. Okay, Etchin writing suit. I saw Scav write spec. Jilly says size, and Lucinda says seam. Okay, too many guesses, turns out. We don't know. It could be anything. I even saw silk in there. Nutty says silk. Okay, we need downs. 52 down. Apple that's flat. Apple that's flat. Snoopy says iPad. Very clever. Yeah, an Apple device that is flat. iPads are very flat. So not thinking of the fruit. That looks good. Very clever. Okay, that narrows down 51 across. It can't be seam. I guess the guesses I saw were size and silk. Dress detail, size or silk. I think size works a little bit better with the clue. Allie's guessing silk. All right, we'll do more crosses then. Mixed veggies morsel. Rohan's like, it's gotta be size. All right, Rohan, redeeming yourself for 62 across. I'll put your answer in. And why don't we check it right away? Check this Z. Nothing at all. Can we make sense of a Z here? Monolized laying down. Jessica giving me pea pod emojis, which I love. Mixed veggies morsel is a P, yeah. Angie's crushing it on YouTube. And Angie's like, what's up with me today? As though she's not always crushing it, but you are always crushing it. Adam's Apple writes zilch. Unfortunately, I love the word zilch, but it doesn't fit. Yeah, I think Clark is right. 0. Nothing at all is 0. And we only have 2 letters left in this crossword. It always makes me sad when we get to this point. Stone skipping path. And why don't we check this one? Head slappers shout. What do we think? Yeah, Shania is just filling in the entire section. Okay, it's looking like a stone skipping path is an arc. By the way, beautiful clue. Picturing, you toss a stone, it skips and it arcs to the next hop on the lake. I can really picture that. And 54 down was singly, which is looking like each. So this is going to be an H, and the head slapper shout is dough. Pretty much no one had to shout dough in today's solve because you all crushed it. And Lucinda giving me the donut emojis because this is the Homer Simpson tagline, of course. Pierce, thanks for the heart. Pixie, thanks for the drum roll as I put the H in to see if we got the confetti today. And while I have you hostage waiting for confetti, I want to remind you, please follow us. We do this every day. So you don't want to miss a stream. Do this every day at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Follow us, like us, and check out Arkadium.com in the meantime. They put out lots of great crosswords like this and tons of other games as well. So Nutty, thanks for following us. Anarchy, thanks for liking the live. Tess giving me the drum roll. I'm going to put this H in. Yes, nice work, everybody. We got the confetti. Well earned. Very fun. I had a blast today. Last to leave, lest we forget, list of demands, lost and found, lust for life. We're doing second changes, and yeah, this is a very fun crossword. Jillian, have fun. Thanks for these gifts. I don't even know what that one is. That a video game gift? You guys are the best. I love solving these crosswords with you. May will be hosting tomorrow at same time, noon Eastern. I'll be back on Thursday. Fresh puzzles, hopefully the same great company. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Angie. Have a good afternoon. And Rohan, you'll get them next time, I promise. I mean, you got a lot today, but I was rooting for you with Glover. Should I ask, can we do a cryptic crossword one of these days? That would be fun. I would love to do a cryptic. I'm not very good at them, so I would need a lot of help from chat for that. And Rob says, how is that an hour zoomed through? That's always how I feel. These hours fly by. It's because I have fun with you guys. Allie says, what time Pacific? It's 9 a.m. in California time. 9 a.m. It's the same time. So you know, the streams will end at this time, start an hour before. Warthog send in a heart. All right, I'm going to sign off, guys, and see you very soon.